Well, it's martini time on this Monday after Easter, and I thought I would break out my Easter martini glass. Well, it's actually not Easter martini glass, but my uncle, let me take a sip first. My uncle collected martini glasses and left me with 500 of them. And I always felt like he was looking for the Holy Grail, the perfect martini glass. And I'm sure he found it with that, because there is no other martini glass in his collection like that. Yet he kept on going. Like there must be something more. And he had an itch that would not scratch. So, and also it's spring, and I got my first tick bite. And it seems like spring comes with ticks. And I don't have a big yard, and I don't get out in the bushes. Yet, doggone it, a tick will find me. And they just don't go, the bite doesn't go away. I mean, it will just itch for, sometimes a good one will go for months. So I want to use that as our metaphor today, the itch that won't scratch. Because we have a lot of itches. And the one with my uncle's martini glasses was, he enjoyed that itch. He was retired. But, and I inherited it. So, but I don't collect martini glasses. But I am interested in how to erase the itch. The itch is very, very subtle. It's almost like it's normal. The itch is always finding something wrong. No matter if somebody has a perfect house, it could be better. There's something missing. In other words, so there always seems to be a little itch there, a little something. And if we do arrive at something that's perfect, it doesn't last long. Even though we have the illusion that, oh, it'll be, I won't have any more itches forever, one comes up. And we even have the illusion that retirement will be without itches. Like just the working life is one big itch. Just, always something wrong, missing, I'm struggling. And if there's some itchless place in the future. We buy products because we believe the product will remove the itch. I mean, our American consumer economy, as big and beautiful as it is all based on an itch. And our advertising, what does it do? But just agitate the itch a little bit. It just reminds you that you need something, that you have an itch that needs to be erased. And as soon as you are aware of that itch, they stick a product in your hand, or in your mind, and you go up and then you just buy it for some reason. But the itch eraser is an ad, you see. First it stimulates an itch, then it sells you something that will erase it. But it's not just itches. I mean, the president does that. Trump agitated an itch and then sold himself as the itch eraser. But the itch is still there. So everybody is, all you have, if you want to sell something, just agitate this itch, because everybody's got it. So if you can find a way to bite, to make that tick bite, then you can sell them something to erase the itch, you see. So what is this itch? Other cultures don't have it. I mean, most consumer cultures do, but Aboriginal cultures, that are self-sustaining and don't have a history, don't have this itch. Oh, it doesn't mean that you can't get a better bow and arrow or something, but the itch kind of like makes history. The itch kind of like creates this evolution of itch erasers. So every new technology, every new scientific theory, every new medicine, every new idea is basically coming out of that itch. This will erase it. This theory will solve all problems. This is the theory that will answer all questions. This is the talk show that will answer questions. I thought, we would watch, I watch Morning Joe and these they're just talking heads. Remember Max Headroom, that animated talking head? Well, he's still there. And so there is an itch in their culture, and people talk about it as if the talking will get rid of the itch. If somebody could come up with just the right talk, we feel like they would remove the itch and solve the problem of the Democrats or the Trump or whatever the itch is, you see. There's this belief that some language, the right words, the right theory will eliminate, you see. So we talk about it. When we get an itch, we share it, we talk about it, and we talk about the time, anytime we have a little mayhem or upset, we talk about it because the itch is there, the little bite is there, and we talk about it as if that will erase it, you see. We try to wrap it up in talk and share it, and other people say, oh yes, that itches too. And then they tell you about their bite. So we're all sharing itches, and we're driven by itches, and nobody can find the perfect eraser. Nobody can find the perfect martini glass that will remove the itch to buy more. So Easter, we just finished Easter. Now that's kind of like a religious itch eraser. In other words, the original sin is a tick bite. And it's been digging into humanity since Adam and Eve, you see. How do we get rid of this itch? And we try everything. So finally, Jesus comes along and says, I'll remove the itch. And so he creates an itch eraser, and it's called Easter. All right? So I didn't mean to get back into this. I've been talking about it all weekend, and it's still coming up. So I don't know. I've got an itch. So what is the itch eraser of Easter? You see, it's the itch eraser. It's the itch eraser of death and life. Death on the cross, life, and the resurrection. You see, death and the liberation from death. The itch and the itch eraser. So, see, I'm speaking metaphorically here, so don't come up and start commenting about some tick bite solution you've got. So, we're not talking about ticks, we're talking about this itch in the human consciousness that drives us to create history that we think will solve or erase the itch, but it never does, you see. So it's this drive to become. And we can't just be. If we can just be, there's no itch. There's no itch in just being this, you see. The itch is, I can't be here, I'm itching. I gotta move, I gotta create, I gotta be. And being drives us to tomorrow, where the itch eraser is, we believe, you see. So being, the big itch in human consciousness is death. So how do we solve the problem of death and loss and the end and the giving up of becoming? You see, becoming requires future. You can't become if there's no future. If you give up future, you give up becoming. If you give up becoming, you give up the itch. Because now you're just here. You're just being here, you see. But no, we have to become. And that's because we believe the itch will be solved by something in the future. Either some salvation, some rebirth, some new church, the return of Jesus will remove the itch. But in the meantime, we're all itching. So, and history moves on, you see. History, we keep creating ourselves to create the promise that the itch can be removed. So we should be curious about that. I should be curious about why I have this itch that things won't satisfy. This itch that martini glasses won't satisfy. This itch that relationship and property and money and all of it, none of it will satisfy. Values, politics, well, that's where the wisdom of age comes in, because the older you get, you've tried it all, you see. And either you just stop looking and drink martinis, or you have a spiritual turnabout and begin to turn within to see just where in the hell is that tick? Where is that tick? You see, the tick's on me. It's not out there. I've got the tick. I've got to be responsible for it. So when I begin to be curious about just where this spiritual itch is, that's a turnabout. That's a reversal from looking to get rid of the itch in the future to seeing where the itch is right now. And that is the shift to being, because the itch is being. The itch is stuck in your being, so you need to find it in your being rather than avoiding your being where the itch is and moving towards the future, you see. So we avoid the tick in order to escape the tick in the future. And the only way to get rid of the tick is to find a little tweezers. We have one with a little flashlight on it, and you find that you usually find the tick by following the sensation. Ticks are usually, they're very ingenious. They like to get around your belt, on your legs, in your back, preferably where you can't get to it. But they all get there somehow, and you can follow the scent. You can follow the scent of the itch. It's a sensation. You follow the sensation to the point where you can actually see the tick, and then you take out the tweezers and you pluck the tick out, you see. And then you have the inertia of the tick bite, month, 2 months, but gradually the tick bite dissolves, you see, because you have removed the itch that drives our minds crazy. And that is Zen, or Zen Buddhism, or any non-dual tradition that is not focused on becoming something. Any self-help, therapy, philosophy, religion that is about becoming avoids the itch. So let that be our second day of after Easter message, and so I hope you don't get a tick bite, but I hope you do become interested in just where in the hell that itch is. It's a fascinating journey. It's called the spiritual journey. It's the journey of the itch remover. The itch with 1,000 faces. Okay? So, I'll see you tomorrow morning at Zen Live.